The video today is, what the heck, Sam, are you calling the inorganic ones? That's a good question. I developed this name by watching several videos about the topic. I make a lot of research about, religion, metaphysics, science, magic, occultism, mysticism, alchemy, whatever the things are. Why? Because it will help you to have not necessarily a better vision of what is going on, but what was going on in the past. My grandpa used to tell me, if you want to know what will happen, no need to read the card, but just read and learn the truth about the past. Never let any book telling you the truth, because everyone will have their own truth. Wise men. So I apply these things for the last 25 years. The inorganic one appears in our history at several times. The Hopis talk about it. This ethnies that I had the name a couple of minutes ago, the Dugong in Africa, talk about it, ancient civilization. Egyptian talk about it. Greek talk about it. Da Vinci talk about it. Even put some proof inside his draw and painting. Freemason talk about it. Cabal talk about it. Torah talk about it. Bible talk about it. Not necessarily the Bible selling in the bookstore actually, but the ancient one. We has a DNA that is connected with everything around us. Each part of our DNA, we can find a piece in the plant that is face of me, a cat that is passing, a dog, a bird, even a coconut. For most of us, when we talk about UFO, OVNI in French, extraterrestrial, ETs, we had various interpretations. The TV was creating a ridiculous amount of movie that our brain and our society are so much attached on their belief and think that they know that if you start to talk about aliens, you will not necessarily activate the interest, but you will definitely activate judgment. When people doesn't know, they always judge. When people have an interest, they are open-minded. Why? Belief. An emotion that hide ignorance. I will be back on my grandpa that when I was a kid, we had such a beautiful conversation talking about eventual civilization. And he used to tell me, my son, Do you think in the ocean we know all the species? And I was like, no, Grandpa, for sure. Do you know that we know our entire planet? No, Grandpa. Do you think you know fully your country? No, Grandpa. So how do you know that we don't have species even living within us? This conversation with my grandpa, I will always remember. We were walking outside going to get bread, in France. And I was holding his hand, and I remember he was explaining me that, and I was like, this man is sometimes cuckoo. He was not. The inorganic one, for some, are those species named reptilian. If you make some research, you will see that you have serious people that talk about it with a real strong argument. I know some people will say no, but and open your minds and try to collect information and then follow your intuition, not your ego. I started to listen to a video with this person and another lady that was interviewed, and they were talking about, the reality of UFO. I like to make research. I don't like to listen just someone and say, oh wow, that's really cool. No, I will make research. I disconnect with several personalities that I love to follow long time ago. Why? Because I do believe that they sell their stuff, but they don't release the information as it is. Some information can cause subscriber, can cause family, can cause friends. Personally, I don't care. Why? Because the quality of information that we are capable to handle is way above and beyond the attachment that we have for people that will not agree with us or nor discuss with us, or even on the same vibration. So anyway, go back on this video that I was watching. They were talking about UFOs, and I did enjoy what this lady was saying and the interviewer too. So I make research, and I found several DoD documents that was unclassified or declassified from the US Navy. So I make some research, and I found that on their online website you have access to some report that declare that they had connection, interaction, and observation of UFO. They call that UPAs, not UFO. Pentagon released 1,500 documents that are declassified to tell to people, or at least the one that wants to make research, that we interact in several years, which not said 1,000 years, with those entities. So for some, the inorganic one, which called reptilian, will be inside our different government. To me, it doesn't make any sense that some entities will be violent, hostile to the humanity, because they are beings from the universe. And the universe nor has negative or positivity, it's just act with balance of polarities. We have those entities that control us. Wait, it's probably time to make more research and start to connect with several things that happen right now and news and observing and decrypt what is said, how they interact with our behaviors, how they interact with our emotion. Strangely, it's occur more often than before. Obviously, it's using more our reptilian brain than the creative one. Look just music, how they move through words that in magic we call spell. We spell a word, but we cast a spell in magic. How Hollywood, that's what we call for the vamp, in the vulgar words in magic, in a wizard. I don't call them wizard, I call them sorcerer. They are playing with us. If those entities are controlling us, it is time to wake up. And it's time to wake up quickly. If those entities doesn't exist and it's only evil human, which this is my belief, that develop so much and strongly their reptilian brain that they activate and they access to power of creation, magics, information that we don't know, that they still develop these brain activities, because when you are into your brain, a reptilian brain, the energy and the frequency in your brain start to shift and automatically impact your inner world, also your outer world. I experienced that this morning. We need to find the balance between our two hemispheres for trying to become neutral and annihilate this bad energy, a low frequency that put us into the hole. Because the more you will accept that we are not alone on this universe, in this universe, and you are even not alone inside your own body, how much entities, energies are flowing inside you, just into one cell, a lot of people inside. If those civilizations interact with us actually, why it is not revealed? Why we cannot interact with them? Or simply because if tomorrow you have a fleet of extraterrestrial landing on our country, then many of us will go in the first forest starting to hang themselves because my God, yeah, maybe God is not what we think. Maybe God never interacted with us as we believe. Maybe God is an alien. Who knows? We don't. But the fact is, all those civilizations talk about extraterrestrial. Like the Dugon. They talk about it, which is crazy. And their suit of rituals represent those entities. Hopis, Cheyenne, whatever the civilization, Egypt, they talk about it. Even alchemy, we thought. Where this thought come from? We talk about it in our alchemy video. So you will hear a lot of people talking about Pleiadian, that they are channeling them, which they are come from the constellation of, they are under the sign of, astrological sign of Taurus, which is interesting. We should not believe and trust all of them because, some of them are probably little cuckoo, and once again, some wants to sell some things. But when they are true with themselves, they don't try to sell anything. They're just delivering a message because we know light workers, shadow workers, whatever workers you want to try to call, we know that the shift will occur extremely soon, probably sooner than 5 years. The life that we are living actually is the end. We will not live this life anymore. And you can see a lot of people start to leave their job, start to observe the lies of news without any more comment about that. Most of you will understand what I'm saying. Many people start to understand that the mind can create anything you want. I had the proof this morning again. If extraterrestrial come soon and land, pay attention, because another thing, you have two ways. Laura Eisenhower explained that in one of the video with a guy that, I'm sorry if one day he listened to this video, I didn't remember. He's an ex-special agent from the FBI. And he seems cuckoo, but obviously the guy is not when you really listen to him. He says, pay attention because they can play with us with a landing or, you know, an intervention of UFOs, and it will be only fake, another false flag. So we are all the time shifting between what is true, what is not, and we don't really understand if it's true, if it's not, because the TV shows us some things. Ukraine, the war, we are so disturbed by many information that we cannot accept for the change. Remember, it's one of our video. Chaos come from fire. In the nature, fire is the best and ultimate change for the first phase of removing the ancient world to the new world. Ancient life to the new life. For renewing your life, you need to go into the chaos. How many of you lost their job? How many of you lost people around them? How many of you are sick? Because the universe show you, or life show you, that you are resisting to the change. If aliens come, pay attention of what you are telling you. Please turn off the TV. It will just be bullshit. Don't worry, the universe will always connect you with people that you need to connect with for a purpose. I will give you an example. Our last interview was with Sandra McEllis. Wonderful lady, beautiful energy. And she said some things to us that I will end this video with. She says, I don't let myself disturbed by too many info. I just follow my heart, because my heart will always guide me with my higher self. Peace, guys.